any team game with different classes, there are going to be some synergies, and Team Fortress 2 is no different, with many duos emerging. The first one that comes to mind for me is Pyro and Engineer. As while the Engineer builds many helpful buildings, the Pyro helps counter Engineer's greatest threats in the form of explosives and spies. The most iconic duo, however, is Medic and Heavy. With how much overheal the Heavy gets, it's a no-brainer why you would want to heal this guy. On top of that, the sandwich is a fantastic item that can make sure the medic survives situations he would normally die from. But the medic has another great target to pocket, one you would expect. This secret OP pocket is from the Scout. At first, this statement seems completely absurd. Why would you ever want to pocket a light turret that can't effectively battle sentries like one of the power classes? These are some downsides when it comes to a pocketed Scout. He's a light class, so he's not going to get as much overheal as a soldier or heavy, as overhealth scales with base max health. This means that the Scout should theoretically die more often, leaving the medic to die alone afterwards. Another problem comes from Scout's main weakness, sentries. Not only is he incredibly light and relies on dodging to avoid damage, but his scattergun does low damage against sentry guns. This makes him easily the worst class to battle sentries, besides maybe the engineer himself. So those are the two obvious weaknesses he has. But, as we will see, those are drops in the bucket compared to the immense utility Scout provides, with the first one being his speed. Movement speed is one of those valuable things in any game, due to the amount of options that's given by being able to go somewhere faster. Scout is the fastest class in the game, and when the medic heals them, he mirrors the Scout's speed. This makes the medic harder to hit, faster to get to the main fight, more likely to get to a health pack in time, better at closing the gap for an Uber Sidearm. It can move faster than a spy, so he can't be easily stalked, and also cross gaps he couldn't before, and there's still more. The medic's already a bit tricky to consistently land shots on with a pocket round, but when both the pocket and the medic are moving at max speed, you're going to need to be a Scout yourself to catch up. But let's say you are a Scout. Congratulations, you are immediately at a disadvantage, as not only are you fighting a 2v1, but a 2v1 against two people that can move as fast as you, and one is always regenerating. Did I mention both have a higher health threshold? With 185 health from Overheal, a Scout can survive the following that he couldn't before. A Sniper Quickscope, the direct hit at close range, a mini crit scattergun, a Tide Turner charge, the mini crit combo, a fully charged Quickie Bomb below him, 2 melee hits, and some more I probably forgot to mention. The Scout is already hard to hit, so getting him with the health of Demo Man is even better for him. And this is just talking about if he was just overhealed. While he's being actively healed, you better have landed those 2 pills immediately, otherwise he'll still be alive. But this applies to every class. While Uber capability, he doesn't seem to be as effective as a power class. True, but that's not how you use the Scout in an Uber push. With Uber pushes, people usually only Uber one target, but you can often get multiple people Ubered at once by quickly targeting Uber on 2 or 3 people, which is referred to as flashing. However, it's not used as much to have 2 Ubered power classes, as most of the time they are too slow to pick off stragglers. Rather, the Scout is better as a secondary Uber target, as not only do you go faster, but you have someone to pick off the stragglers. And what was the Scout's biggest weakness again? Lack of health and weakness to sentries. But that's barely anything to worry about when you make him invincible. This isn't new information, as it's common to do in competitive games, but in a casual environment, you get a lot of medics trying to recreate Meet the Medic and end up doing nothing. But when you have one class to clear out an area and another to make sure nobody escapes, you get some serious destructive power. Not only that, but the Scout has an item to help him get Uber more often. Speaking of items, the Scout has some good items that seem to be tailored around support. His most well-known example is the Boston Basher being used to build Uber, making it a competitive staple. A medic healing the Scout consistently also gives him more opportunities to go for a risky melee when he's out of ammo and needs to finish the job. Another item that is not only good for the Scout, but the entire team is the Mad Milk. It can be used to extinguish your medic and heal the rest of the team by drawing it on a crowd or important target. One last weapon that can be used supportively is the Force of Nature, as it has the potential to knock away enemies who will certainly be hungry for a medic pick. So not only does the Scout passively support the medic, but he can also actively support him too. All of this is pretty good, but there's one more question to be answered. Why don't more people do this? My main guess for the fact that Scouts are usually ignored when looking for a main heal target is 3 reasons. The first being the fact that he's not really a power class, meaning he can't get an insane amount of kills that Demoman or Heavy can get. Except he can, though. The second reason that most of the time Scout players aren't really positioning with medics in mind. Medics tend to stay near the core of the team, while scouts often go to the flank if they're the sentry in the main area. The third reason is once again memes. People joke about scouts inconveniencing medics, and more people associate scouts and medics not being good together. More memes are made, and the cycle repeats. Where have I seen this before? It seems that people generalizing from meme situations is a common occurrence in online communities. However, you can break this stereotype. Medics remember that scout mains can't steal your health pack if you're also at full health, and give them the boost they might need to win the next fight. If you see a power class, a scout, and a choke that needs to be pushed, and full Uber, you know what to do. Scouts, make sure to help the medic whenever you can, and make sure he gets places faster. With this information, you could potentially win more games, get more kills, live longer, and make everyone happy. Something else that can make both of us happy is subscribing if you like this video, as my number goes up and you get to see my new videos and you're recommended. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.